seconds. 25 secondes. 25 seconds is the lead for Elsa right now, but I think that lead is going to dwindle slightly as now there's been an attack by Gabriela Traxler. Also a response by two of the Ontario riders. Can Elsa keep this up for one more lap? And don't forget, she'll be picking up some points here. 5, 3, 2, 1 are the top 4 points. As Elsa goes by, sprints for points on the next lap. And now once again, the pack sitting up again. So this is really turning into a game of cat and mouse here. Alors le peloton qui est indécis, là, bon finalement il y a Ariane Bonhomme qui saute pour aller possiblement réduire l'écart. Sprint for points on the next lap. 23 secondes, 23 seconds. But they're going to have to work a bit better together, Steve, if they're going to hope to reel in the TT specialist, Elsa.
Absolutely. It looks like Jillian really liking this course, really able to hold her speed around these corners. And it looks like, so Ariane Bonhomme from Quebec just having about 10 meters on the Ontario rider, Catherine Main. But it looks like Catherine Main has gone to the front and picked up the pace a little bit. But they need to, I think Jillian Elsay is going to take this next sprint. I don't think they have enough real estate to reel her in on this lap. But this will score her 10 points. So this was a very critical sprint here, and a very smart move by Jillian Elsay to make that move after that first sprint, and it was able to get away when there was that lull in the pack. So we can now see Jillian Elsay just behind our lead vehicle, making her way into that barn of speed. And again, that still looks like right around 20 to 25 seconds that she is holding on this main field. So Jillian Elsay, she was 8th at the World Championships in the junior category in 2015 in the time trial. So she loves time trialing, and that's what she is doing right now. And she's time trialing towards another podium here in the Canada Summer Games. Now I just see our main field in sight heading towards that barn. So she has a very, very significant lead. Can she hold this for the rest of this race? And now they're sprinting for points as well, so we'll see how this shapes up, if some of the top Quebec riders can get some of those high placing points and still have a chance later on in this race. Now our lead pack into that back straight.
And Steve, it's at 28 seconds, and now driving hard is number 8 right there, Hillary Lowry for Team Ontario. Right on her wheel is Anna Tallman, the medalist from the row race from the other day. And now Jillian Elsay is going to cruise through here, picking up 10 points. So it'll be 10 points for Jillian. About 28 seconds was the last gap. And now the sprinting's going to start here within the main group. You got to make your way to the inside, trying to have the shortest distance around that 180 hairpin to be able to make us some room, or at least gain that whole shot for the sprint. And it looks like it's going to be Boilard once again. Yeah, she's going to be picking up points once again just in front of Sarah Van Dam. And we'll see who is officially in 4th place.
So we've got our main field now heading towards turn number 2. So it looks like for Quebec, they are setting up Simon Boilard as their rider for the sprints, and it looks like BC is setting up Sarah Van Dam for the sprints, because Sarah was able to score 3 points in that first sprint and then 4 points for the second sprint. Now Sarah Van Dam, an interesting rider, only 15 years of age, one of the youngest riders in this field, and she was 4th in the road race sprint. So Sarah Van Dam from British Columbia, a promising young rider here, and the rider that BC is supporting in the sprints. So it's very interesting. So BC has one rider out front, Jillian Elsay, but then they've got one rider faring very, very well in the sprint, Sarah Van Dam. So BC certainly in a good position here, both out front and in the points right now. And then Simon Boilard, the rider from Quebec that we were definitely watching for, is sitting up there as well in the points. Now Jillian Elsay onto that back straight. Again, the last we are 28 seconds. She is in time trial mode. She's got the focus on. And I think, I just got Carly here, what do you think Quebec and Ontario need to do right now if they want to reel her in?
Yeah, I think right now they have to designate, they already have an established designated sprinter, Catherine Main for Ontario, who's been going for the points, and Sarah Van Dam for BC, and Simone Bollard from Quebec. So those riders need to sit in, and their teammates now need to do the work to pull those back, or they're sprinting for not the top step on the podium.
And you can see now Ontario on the front, stringing this one out.
Yeah, and the gap is up to 34 seconds, Steve. 34 secondes. And in our points classification, Jillian Elsey with 10-10, Simone Bollard 6-6, Sarah Van Dam 4-4, and Catherine Main 2-2. As she keeps on going here, Jillian Elsey, last count, 33 seconds. 33 secondes de dernier écart. Avec 14 tours à faire, 14 laps to go. And we got the clock ticking as the pack goes by here, being pulled by Ontario. It's 32 seconds now. 32 secondes.
So it looks like Emily Marcolini from Ontario pushing the pace here. Now, she was also some horsepower for the Ontario team in that road race earlier this week at Birds Hill Park. But I don't see a Quebec rider up front trying to chase down that move by Jillian Elsey. Now, it's maybe not quite yet time to panic, because Simone Boillard, with her first place sprint on the first sprint and her second place sprint on the second one, she's got 11 points, which is actually ahead of the 10 points that Jillian Elsey has scored. So maybe Quebec is just try to roll the dice a little bit, use the other teams to push the pace, and then they'll pick it up. But we are almost at the halfway point of this race. And Jillian Elsey last week, 34 seconds as she just comes through the barn of speed. And our main pack starting to string out now through turn 3 in the distance. So it looks like Ontario now deciding it is now or never to reel in this group. And they've got one rider, Catherine Main, that is sitting up there in points. So I think that is the rider they are riding for. They've sent Emily Marcolini to the front to try and reel in Jillian Elsey. But Jillian Elsey, our time trial winner, she's got a lot of power out front. I think at least 3 riders, I think, need to be at the front working together to reel in the power of Jillian Elsey, one of the top time trialists in the nation.
As they come through, Steve, here, and we are going to have a gap now sitting at 32 seconds, 32 secondes, 32 seconds to our leader. And showing 13 to go. 13 à faire dans ce Criterium féminin des Jeux du Canada 2007. 13 laps to go. And 33 seconds is the lead for this young lady, Jillian Elsey from British Columbia. And the pack are just going very easy and safe around the hairpin turn. It'll be interesting to see, will anybody commit to this? Will anybody dare to start the chase? With 13 to go, maybe a bit early in the process to do so. And now Quebec back at the front. Alberta also. And there we go with Ariane Bonhomme.
So we've got Ariane Bonhomme, who's leading for Quebec right now. So it looks like Quebec now, 2 riders on the front with Alberta. Ontario losing a rider off the back of the pack as they head into turn 2. Ontario, kind of most of their riders near the back of the pack here. So they have maybe, they're struggling a little bit, and now Quebec has decided it is now the time to make this chase, and one Alberta rider in there as well. And that's setting up Sarah Van Dam from BC in that pack very well. BC not having to do any work on the chase. It's all Jillian Elsey pushing the pace out front, and that's making the other teams chase And Sarah Van Dam, who's sitting up there in points again, only 15 years of age, out of British Columbia, sitting very well right now. But Jillian Elsay, 32 seconds last time we checked. So that gap, it's starting to stabilize a little bit. But I think we're now right around that halfway point, and it's Quebec now forced into the chase now with two riders and then one other rider from Alberta as they head into the barn here at the Red River X Grounds. This is where we had the velodrome for the 1999 Pan Am Games. And now we have our women's criterium, our men's criterium coming up at 6 o'clock.
Well, Steve, we have started the stopwatch here, and we're already above 30 seconds, and it's going to be, as you said, standing strong at 34 seconds. 34 secondes, as now Ontario's moved to the front with the Caitlin Rorda. And two riders now in trouble, one Ontario rider, one Anne-Pascale Wallet for Team BC. 34 seconds was the latest gap, 34 secondes l'écart. So I'll say not letting up one bit here, despite some bickering back in the field. As they're coming around, and we're showing 12 to go. 12 tours à faire. And the pack really nobody's set on doing whatsoever here. A lot of looking at each other and observing going on, but not a lot of action as Emily Marcolini now trying to grapple her way back onto the back of this main group.
Now Alberta moving to the front here in this chase. So Jillian Elsay over 30-second lead right now on this pack. And she's just second in the points right now, but if she's leading when they come around on the next sprint, that will allow her to move into the lead on the points. Yeah, so Catherine Main now, one of the sprinters here for Ontario, who's got the most points for Ontario, is leading the chase right now. But Jillian Elsay, she loves time trial, and she won the gold on Tuesday. She was the national junior time trial champion just a couple years ago in the under 18 age category. She also represented Canada at the World Time Trial Championships in Richmond, Virginia a couple years ago. So your BC athlete here, she loves the time trials, but she has got to be in some severe pain right now. She's trying to set a hard pace, and she's done a great job holding off all these teams here. But she's in her own world of suffering right now. But Carly, this I think is a good position for her.
Yeah, like I was saying before, she definitely loves the time trial. I think she's more comfortable, being out there laying as much power as she can by herself, as well with that 180-degree turn there. It's way faster to go through by yourself because with the pack, it bottlenecks. The first person you can go through, but then everyone else behind is on the brakes. So she actually can be taking the corners faster than the group can right now.
Yeah, and here comes our lead pack now on the back straight.
Still at about 34, 35 seconds, Steve, with 11 laps to go here. And the bell will ring, announcing to these ladies that there's going to be a sprint for points on the next lap. So Jillian Elsay are going to pick up maybe another 5 here. Sprint for points on the next lap. And the pack now, it looked like there was going to be a reaction there, but once again, everybody's sitting up. There's slight acceleration, but once again, when the teams see that there's only one province that wants to do the work, they'll immediately just sit up and say, no, we're not going to do this all on our own. There's still 11 laps to go.
And now, Randy, it looks like an Alberta rider has really made a charge there through turn number 1. And one of the Ontario riders, Ruber West, trying to respond to that. And now, all of a sudden, they're strung out again. But this is not the type of work you want to try and reel in a breakaway where they're slowing down, speeding up. But Alberta trying to make a bid now. Alberta, I don't think is Anna Tellman. So Anna Tellman from Alberta making a charge here. And now she was the bronze medalist from the road race. And Anna Tellman, according to her Canada Games profile, she actually grew up in a family without a car. So she has been riding her bike from a very young age. And she has some great power in the road race. And she's decided she wants to go for points. And you can see coming out of corner 3, they are really, really strung out. But now here, Jillian Elsay already in the back straight here. So Jillian Elsay looking to score 5 points here on this third sprint of the day. And that will move her into the lead because that will move her up to 15. And Simone Boilard, even if she gets second in the sprint, she would only move up to 14 points if my calculations are correct. So Jillian Elsay will now move into the lead on the points, but now we've got a charge. Now we've got the pace picking up here, and it is Anna Tellman from Edmonton, Alberta, just looking under her shoulder. Ruby West trying to respond, but it's really strung out this field on the back straight.
Yeah, and they brought the lead of Elsay down now to 30 seconds. But once again, very little cooperation behind. Anna Tellman looking under her arms to see, like, is there anybody on my wheel, anybody coming? But once again, they're pretty much all sitting up there and losing 4 more riders after this acceleration. So Elsay's going to pick up 5 more points here in our points tally. And who will we have? Well, we have Boilard once again, Van Damme, Maine, and Bonhomme. We shall see very soon as the sprinting has started behind. And here they come, and up on the pedals already is Simone Boilard out of her saddle, but this time looking in like they're going to have the company of Maine. And yeah, Maine's going to be picking up those 3 points in front of Boilard, who'll probably get 2. And I think it was Van Damme, once again, 4-1, but we'll confirm that in a moment. And I'll give you the full tally after 15 laps of racing.
Well, that gap is closing. I think it's under 30 seconds now after that sprint. But now we'll see if there's a concerted effort. It's actually only about 4 riders now have separated themselves from that field in that sprint. And they had closed that gap a few seconds. I think it was right around 27 seconds here going into turn 2. And now there's a little bit of discussion. Should we work together and chase? Or should we wait for our teammates to come back here as our chase group heads into corner number 3? But again, some more splintering in this field, and Ontario losing some riders. I think a BC rider falling off the pace. But right now, so the riders kind of in the points. Jillian Elsay has moved into the lead. We've also got Simone Boilard, Sarah Van Damme, and Catherine Main from Ontario. Those are the riders that are in the points right now. And Jillian Elsay still looks like she's back up to 30-second lead here on our main field. But she's now on to the 16th lap. There's 25 laps in total. She still has about 9 miles left of time trialing to hold off this field, as our field now coming into the barn. And it's all back together, and it's Ontario moving to the front here. And now it's Quebec. Quebec now has moved to the front here with an Ontario rider.
Well, they're still going to be just around the 30-second mark. And Voila signaling here. I don't know if she wants everybody else to regroup here. And I think that's exactly what Voila was saying, was like, come on, ladies, let's just get back together. But as she says that, Catherine Main jumps out of the saddle and moves to the left side of the road. And it was just hovering around the 30-second mark once again for our leader here, Jillian Elsay from Team BC. She's been out there for the longest while now. And let's see what she can accomplish. Can she take the solo win here with now less than 10 laps to go? Under 15K. So she's already been out there for 10 laps. Now moving again to the front, causing another split here. This acceleration being placed right now by Ruby West on her wheel. Ariane Bonhomme, and now struggling to keep the pace are Marcolini and Brenna Pauley from Team BC. So Ruby
West there in the red and white with that blue helmet. So they are sitting, I've got, looks like right around 31 seconds here as they head into turn number 2. So Jillian Elsay now, she looks very comfortable, very nice form, but she is in a world of hurt trying to time trial away from this field with very strong riders from Quebec and Ontario. So when Jillian Elsay comes around, she'll need some cheers here if she's going to be able to hang out front for another several laps here to hold on for victory. Again, this is the points criterium, but she needs to score, I think, these next points. And again, that final sprint is for double points. So if she gets reeled in, some of these other riders still have a chance to finish on the podium. And I think Simon could still move ahead of the BC rider here. So our BC rider, make some noise here for Jillian Elsay. She's been out front since the start of lap number 6. And now our main field coming into the barn. Again, I think it's Quebec. You can see Simone Boilard. She was signaling when she came through it just a little while ago on that finishing straight. She was signaling to her teammates, we need to work now. We need to make an effort now if we want to take the gold medal. But it's Ruby West in the red and white jersey with the blue helmet. Ruby West, the U23 National Cyclocross Champion here in Winnipeg a couple years ago. She's a huge fan favorite here, and she is leading the chase on the back straight.
Yeah, but they're up to, they're still right stuck around 32 seconds. Is the gap 32 secondes. Et toujours à peu près la marque en échappée ici. Pascal Choquette, the Quebec coach, giving directives to her team out, to his team out on the course. And probably following suit with what Simone was trying to signal to her teammates. Come on, gang, we got to regroup here if we're going to take a kick at this can to bring it to reel Elsay in. She's been out there for 11 laps. We need to work now. She has the motor. She has the physical capacity to stay out there. She's a great time trialist. And that's exactly what she's been doing over these last 11 laps, is just taking it one lap at a time, one pedal stroke at a time. She knows that behind there's not a lot of work being done. As you can see, very little cooperation here between the different teams. It's more, no, you do it, no, I'll do it, no, you do it, no, you do it, you do it. A lot of pointing fingers right now, and Steve, they're going to really have to move very soon as we'll have 8 laps to go.
So only 8 laps to go, Randy. So that means there's only 2 sprints left here. There's a normal sprint in a couple of 3 laps, and then at the finish there'll be double points for that sprint. And this, again, Simone Boilard sitting in second place right now in points to Jillian Elsay. If they are able to reel in Jillian Elsay, that final sprint, because it's double points, I think would allow Simone to move into that lead, that top spot. But really, they've got some work cut out for them. It's over 30 seconds now, that gap between Jillian and the main field. And again, it's very interesting here that Quebec not able to put 2 or 3 riders on the front. I'm not sure if they're part of that strategy or if they're just suffering from the pace set here from earlier chasing. But Jillian Elsay from BC now on to that finishing straight, and I still don't see our pack coming towards the barn area. So Jillian Elsay extending her lead right now on this lap, significantly extending her lead. So the pack maybe now deciding they are focusing on second place, but there's still 7.5 laps to go here. And now our main field emerging here, coming under the barn of speed, as Jillian Elsay already heading towards that 180-degree turn. And this pack's starting to bunch up. Now they're starting to spread out again, and it's Alberta going to the front. That looks like that's Gabby Traxler trying to push the pace, but a BC rider just sitting on her wheel, Randy, and she looks like she's just trying to slow things down just a little bit for her teammate out front.
Yeah, there's not much happening, believe you me. Callie Swan right there doing a bit of hindering, or at least trying to dictate the tempo at the front. And they are up to 38 seconds behind Jillian Elsay, so looking very good for a solo effort here for Elsay with 7 laps to go. 7 tours à faire, 38 secondes. L'écart entre la coureuse seule en tête et le groupe qui maintenant contient pas plus de quoi, une douzaine de coureuses, no more than what, maybe 12 riders left in this main group. And fast pace set right from the onset, and not a lot of cooperation behind her. Once again, this is really turning into the bane of their existence in this main pack, is a lack of cooperation, nobody wanting to go. So Catherine Ouellette at the front there, driving the pace in this 7 laps to go.
So with 7 laps to go, that lead extending here. Now Quebec, 2 riders on the front. But that's Catherine Ouellette. Now she was 3rd, I believe, in the time trial on Tuesday. So Catherine Ouellette, a strong rider. But again, that gap is extended. Now, just to recap what happened in that first sprint at lap 5, there was a furious sprint. Simon Boilard from Quebec taking the top points. But then just as they kind of eased up after that sprint, heading just before turn number 2, Jillian Elsay made a furious attack just as there was a lull in the pack. That gave her a bit of a gap, and then that required a lot of riders to work together to try and reel her in on this very twisty, curvy course here. So a very smart move by Jillian Elsay, and also the just Team BC led by Richard Wools, former Canadian track coach, now coaching the BC team. And a very intelligent race here by BC because they also have Sarah Van Dam in that pack that has been picking up a number of sprint points. So I believe BC is sitting in first and maybe right around a tie or in 3rd place or a tie for 3rd place right now in the points. So a very, very smart race by Team British Columbia, but also Ontario and Quebec in the battle here for points. And it's Quebec and Alberta leading the charge right now. Another rider in there as well is Anna Tellman trying to gain points for Team Alberta. So it's Gabby Traxler now leading through the back straight.
That was Elsay has 15 points, Boilard has 13, Van Dam 8, Maine 7, and Bonhomme 1. And once again, the bell's going to ring, indicating to these ladies that there'll be another bonus collection coming up on the next lap. Next to last intermediate sprint. And here comes the pack. Definitely they're going to pick up the pace on this next lap, as some riders are going to want to go pick up some points. Boilard, Van Dam, the top riders are looking for some more points. Catherine Main also. And she sits in 4th place, just 1 point behind Van Dam, was in 3rd. And there'll be a sprint for points on the next lap, ladies, and the acceleration has started. Pack being driven now by Emily Marcolini, who for a while there was dangling off the back dangerously. She was able to recompose herself and jump back on into the pack, and now leading it through turn number 1.
So Randy, it looks like Ontario now, they've decided they're going to try and set up Catherine Main here for a medal. They're not going to focus on trying to bring back Jillian Elsay. They're now coming to the front on this lap where there'll be sprint points when they come through again. So Ontario sending a rider to the front. They are trying to get Catherine Main into one of those top 3 positions. Again, she's sitting 4th right now in points. Jillian Elsay, the time trials, make some noise, folks, in the grandstand. She's pushing the pace. She's been out since lap number 6. She's driving hard here. Can she hang on for the victory? It looks like she's going to take top points here. So Jillian Elsay, she loves her time trials. The Canadian junior champ, 8th in the world in the junior age category a couple years ago. The winner of the time trial on Tuesday here. Also her brother, Nigel, a great time trialist. And actually, I think it was her brother that got Jillian into the sport of cycling. And it looks like that was a great decision on Jillian's part here, because she is looking for another medal after her gold on Tuesday in the time trial. It is Ontario. It is Emily Marcolini leading. Then we've got a BC rider in 2nd, Quebec in 3rd and 4th. And Catherine Main sitting about 6th or 7th spot in that field. She's going to be looking for points on this sprint.
Yeah, and Steve, they are now a full 46 seconds behind Elsay, as she'll be picking up another 5 points right here. 45 seconds is the gap. So she's actually grown on this sprint lap. Her lead on the pack. Alors, 45 secondes maintenant l'écart. Alors, elle sait que sur ce tour de sprint, d'habitude, on accélère. Bien au contraire, elle est allée chercher pour creuser l'écart, d'autant plus. And we'll be seeing here as they come through with showing 5 laps to go. 5 tours à faire. Don't forget our men's race coming up at 6 tonight. 6 heures, and there we are. The sprint is on. And on the inside, it's going to be, voila, I think just squeaking by Maine and then Van Dam.
So, Randy, we've got a battle here between Maine and Van Dam for that final podium spot. And Simone Boilard strengthening her silver medal position right now. So those are the 3 riders that are sprinting for points out of this field. And there is only 3 steps on that podium. And there are 4 riders right now that are in the hunt. So we've got Jillian Elsay out front by 46 seconds. So it looks like she might be able to hang on for the gold medal, but then we've got this battle for silver and bronze. Simone Boilard from Quebec certainly in a strong position for silver. And then that battle between the Ontario rider Catherine Main and the BC rider Sarah Van Dam, the 15-year-old Sarah Van Dam, in that battle for the bronze medal position. So we've had 4 of our 5 sprints, but the next sprint, the final sprint, is for double points. And now into the back straight. Make some noise here, Jillian Elsay. She's got a healthy lead in the points. She's got 46 seconds on this field. And I'll say that Elsay has a very, very good chance for victory here at the Red River X Grounds, where we had the 1999 Pan American Games track races, when Tanya Dubnikov took 2 gold medals. And Tanya is actually here today coaching for the Alberta team. And Alberta trying to get someone in the mix here. We've seen Gabby Traxler push the pace and try and score some points. And I think if some of these riders could get top points or second points, there might be a chance here. But right now it is BC just slowing things down on the front of this field. They are happy with the situation at the front, and they've also got a rider in that battle for that bronze medal position, Randy.
Yep, and Steve, we are now up to a gap right now of 52 seconds. 52 seconds is the lead for Jillian Elsay, and Simone Boilard not seeming to be happy at all out there. Didn't quite get what she was saying, but she was shouting at one of the coaches there, wanting to know what was going on. In the standings, once again, we'll see once they come around here with our latest and greatest showing them for this 4 laps to go. So 20 points for Elsay, 20 points pour elle. Voilà à 16, 16, Maine à 9, 9, Van Dam 9, 9, and Bonhomme 1, 1. Four laps to go in this Canada Games Women Crit Race. 25 laps total, they're down to 4. 4 tours à faire encore. Chit-chatting going on at the front there, Steve.
So here's our main pack now. Carly, I think things have changed up a little bit with Jillian Elsay with such a significant lead right now on this main pack.
Yeah, I think all the riders have realized that Jillian is kind of out of reach for how many kilometers are left in this race. So now the teams are looking at, they're probably going to slow things down a little bit, protect their sprinters, keep them from being swarmed, being boxed in, and also protecting them from the wind. It's a long stretch from that finish corner, the 180 down there before the finish line. So they need a decent lead out to get them across the line first in that double bonus sprint.
Yeah, so that double point sprint coming up for the finish of this race. So the story of the race, Jillian Elsay breaking away after that first sprint. A perfectly timed move by the BC rider, getting a gap, and the field has not been able to work together enough to reel her in. So now it's that battle for the silver and bronze medal, and it's Simone Boilard, our gold medalist from the road race on Wednesday. She's sitting solidly in second place. But then we've got this interesting battle between third and fourth, and you never know what could happen on this final sprint. If one of those riders in third and fourth could up over Simon Boilard on that final sprint because it is double points. And I can see Ontario, Ruby West now going to the front, starting to spread things out a little bit. So Ontario focused on Catherine Main getting that bronze medal position, but it's Sarah Van Dam from BC also in the hunt for the bronze medal. Make some noise here. Jillian Elsay way out in front, pushing the pace here, going for gold.
Yep, and the gap now up to 1 minute for the lead rider. 1 minute, 1 minute. So I think they have basically decided, Steve, that it's going to be a ride for the silver medal here, as I think out of reach, pretty much done deal, sealed deal here for Jillian Nelson. She just has to stay upright on her bike and just motor this one to the finish line, and she'll be winning the crit, second medal for her this weekend. And we'll see now who will be doing most of the work for these last 3 laps within the pack. Seen Ontario's been very active there. Alberta was earlier on, so is Quebec. And BC will absolutely no impetus on them to do what work whatsoever. They have no reason to work. They have their leader at the front. They can just sit tight there and hopefully place another of their members on the podium here. As here we are, showing 3 to go. 3 tours à faire. 3 tours à faire, and taking to the front, Emily Marcolini again.
Now, Randy, we're in that point in this race where you're not allowed a free lap if you have a mechanical problem or flat tire. So you've got to stay upright here in these final few laps. You can't lose this pack because of a mechanical problem, because you do not get that free lap. And Jillian Elsay through the barn of speed here. Jillian, what a ride here by Jillian. A perfectly timed move after that first sprint. She got that gap, and she has built it up to over a minute now. So Jillian Elsay in the final few laps as she bids for her second gold medal of these Canada Summer Games. So a great day here for British Columbia. Now, can British Columbia finish on that third spot on the podium with Sarah Van Dam, the young 15-year-old rider out of British Columbia? So Jillian Elsay, she is from Courtenay, British Columbia. Sarah Van Dam from Victoria, British Columbia. So they're right now sitting, I think, in first and third on the points. Catherine Main from Ontario right up there as well. And then we've got Simon Boilard from Quebec sitting in the second spot right now. But look at the lead that Jillian Elsay has. She's made the 180-degree turn, and our field is just now entering the barn there. But it is Ontario now setting the pace. They are trying to get Catherine Main, their sprinter, onto the podium. So they are focused on that. They are not focused on trying to reel in our leader, Jillian Elsay from British Columbia.
Yep, she's just gone by, showing 2 laps to go on the lap counter. And it is now a 1 minute to 10-second deficit for the main pack, with just over 2 laps to go here. And Ontario doing a lot of work at the front anyway on this portion of the course.
They were bombing backwards down.
And the pack will be hitting that 180-degree turn right now. And as Steve said, there are no more free laps. Il n'y a plus de tour de compensation, so you do want to be very careful. It would be a tragic moment if you had a flat tire or a spill at this point. So once again, just a reminder, Jillian Elsay has 20 points, Simon Boilard has 16, Main and Van Dam have 9, and Bonhomme has 1, and there goes Ariane Bonhomme, and chasing is Anna Gabrielle Traxler. It was time to react now. Can Bonhomme stay off the front because they're being chased by Alberta?
So this looks like a move to maybe set up Simon Boilard for that finish. So there's 2 laps to go. So we've got this battle for silver, bronze, and it's tied right now for that bronze medal position between Catherine Main from Ontario and Sarah Van Dam from British Columbia. But the tactics now in that chase group are not to chase down Jillian Elsay. She is well out in front. They are now thinking about those other medal positions. It's still Ariane Bonhomme leading into that 110-degree turn, that turn number 3, but it's now all back together, but it's spread out. Oh, the agony right now for these riders trying to hold on to this pace here in these final 2 laps. So it's Jillian Elsey way out in front, on her way to a gold medal here, but it's this battle for second and third. This is where the tactics are, the strategy, and the pace is picking up here as they head towards the barn. It is still Quebec trying to lead. Now they're starting to group back together. So they've strung out, but now it's coming back together in the barn here with 1.5 laps to go. Who is going to get those final 2 podium positions? But it's Jillian Elsey way out in front here with the lead. Make some noise, folks, for Jillian Elsey from British Columbia.
Yeah, there she goes for the final lap. Ultima Vuelta, dernier tour. She's been out, as Steve mentioned her on, since the first intermediate sprint, and now BC has moved to the front of the pack, trying to dampen things down and maybe pick up some few extra spots on the podium. Because we know now for a fact that Jillian Elsey, if everything goes well over this final lap, will be your Canada Games women's crit champion. It's turned into more of a time trial than a crit for Jillian here today. But nobody was able to catch her. A perfectly timed attack, and she never looked back. Was benefited from the fact that there was a lot of confusion within the main group. The provinces of Ontario, Quebec, Alberta not wanting to chase down or not wanting to take the risk early on. But now they are going, and this will be the final lap, everybody. Dernier tour, final lap, and now BC really picked up the pace. Catherine Ouellet, Catherine Main, right up there in that group with Ariane Bonhomme and Simone Boilard going for lap number 25.
So we've got this tie, Randy, for 3rd place right now between Sarah Van Dam and Catherine Main. So that'll be a sprint here that we're watching as they come around here. But again, the story of the day here, Jillian Elsey with a huge lead as she's now onto the back straight. She has a significant lead here. She's riding away with the gold medal. And then we're going to have a sprint for those final 2 podium spots here. But Jillian Elsey, Randy, she will have some time to celebrate her victory here.
Yep, and Richard Wolves, her coach, telling her, okay, slow down. You got this one. You got this one, Jillian. Step down. And with a minute 10 seconds lead, I don't think there's any worries to be had. But where there's a lot of anxiety now and worrisome moments is within the main pack. Who is going to make it to the 2nd place on the podium? Will anybody dare attack in these last meters? Steve, you can get a visual down there.
Yeah, so they're now coming towards the barn area. Now we've got a flurry of attacks through the barn of speed. They are trying to set up before the 180 return. They're heading into the chicane right now, and they're going to be making their way to the back straight. It looks like it is BC actually setting the pace here for Sarah Van Dam onto the back straight, Randy.
Yep, and Steve, here she is, your Canada Games Women Crit Champion from British Columbia, the Colombian Jillian Elsey. What a performance by her. Now one of her teammates at the front there doing a lot of work, and they have over the last lap and a half. A few riders have popped off the back. Now, who will be 2nd and 3rd in this women's crit of these Summer Canada Games 2017 in Winnipeg? It's going to be an all-out battle. Everybody making it around the turn, and now all hell will break loose as the sprint will start from way down at the other end, almost 750 meters, 250 meters, and they're up on the pedals here, coming to the line. We have Ontario in the mix, and BC, it's going to be Boilard, Van Dam, Maine, who will it be? It's going to be Boilard, and Maine, I think just squeaking in front of Van Dam for 3rd spot.
Oh my gosh, Randy, that was extremely close there between Sarah Van Dam and Catherine Main, and it really comes down to whoever was in front of the other will take that bronze medal position, because Simone Boilard scoring enough points there to take silver. But who is going to be the official bronze medalist, Randy?
Well, right now, unofficially, Steve, we have Elsey, as we saw, Voila, and then Catherine Main That's what it looks like unofficially right now. Non-officiel, les résultats, Julian Elsey, Simon Boilard, and Catherine Main. What a race. A lot of smart moves, smart tactics as Julian Elsey and British Columbia took it to the rest of the field, and everybody very hesitant at really taking the reins and trying to bring Elsey in. And in the final, well, it ended up being a bunch sprint for second and third place. Alors, les stratégies bien exécutées de la part de la Colombie-Britannique, eux qui sont allés chercher